Hi, welcome to the Israel First television program with myself, Martin Blackham, and with my wife, Nathalie Blackham. Great to have you with us with the program that looks at Israel. We look at the news, we look at what's behind the news, and we look at the biblical roots, including the Hebrew language and the Hebrew letters. Now, as we come to you today, we are in the midst of a ceasefire for the war in Iran, possibly the ceasefire for the war with Lebanon, and not for the war with Gaza. The current state, I'm not sure what that is, but there is still activities in Gaza and indeed in Lebanon. But as far as Iran is concerned, there is a supposed ceasefire, and here on the ground, we are not receiving sirens or alerts on our phone, which is very nice. For the last, I don't know how many was it? For the last month, was it? We have had non-stop multiple alerts and sirens going off. So very nice that that stopped. And schools in Israel, Nathalie, are partially to reopen, subject to IDF guidelines. Lower risk areas to alternate between in-person and remote learning. What's been happening is that the students of Israel, the school children of Israel, have been learning by Zoom. And
again,
which is been on and off, because we've had previously the Gaza war where there was learning by Zoom as well. So this has been on and off for quite a long time, and the schools can only reopen if they have a shelter nearby. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has approved an education ministry plan to partially reopen the schools of Israel, subject to the IDF guidelines. The move comes in the shadow of the war with Iran, which has left the country's 2.5 million children stuck at home for the past 5 weeks. I don't know if you knew it was that, Nathalie, 5 weeks?
5 weeks.
I'm sure it's more than that.
No, it was more than a month, so it's 5 weeks.
It also represents a rejection of Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrik's plan to designate the wartime period as vacation time for teachers and have them work during the summer break instead. This is kind of nuts, but anyway, this is one of the things they suggested. Following a meeting with Education Minister Yoav Kish, Defense Minister Israel Katz and Smotrich and Netanyahu approved an outline according to which there will be a rotating system alternating between in-person and remote learning, with some 30 to 50% of the students attending class in person at any one time, the ministry said. In most of the country, which is considered to be a relatively high risk of being targeted with missile or rocket attacks, classes will only take place inside bomb shelters, according to the ministry's outline. Again, that's quite disruptive for the children to have to do lessons in a bomb shelter in low risk.
And not only that, it's like you don't have your routine. Every time is different. So psychologically is very unsettling for the children. And seeing that some of the children had already COVID time where they had Zoom at school, so the social network is not the same that when they are with their peers at school. So is a lot of disruption
for the children.
Yeah, like deeply inside. You cope with it, but it's really touching the way of how you are, how is your childhood is, and you are built on your childhood. You see, when the people get older, they remember the childhood. It brings a lot of things into your makeup, what's happening in your childhood. So you think about these kids who had now since 2000 is like 6 years of nonsense, of things were changing all the time. And some kids started school at that time, and now they are still with these kind of things you know, is very disrupting deep inside of them.
Yeah, and you know, they have to be very resilient to be able to cope with all of the changes all of the time. In low risks areas of the country, including the Gaza border, the Lower Galilee, the Arava, and Judea and Samaria, studies will be allowed to take place in proximity to a bomb shelter. So that's already a good thing for those children. The ministry said that a complete outline will be issued shortly after the end of the Passover holiday. We just had Passover. Kirsch, in a statement, lauded Netanyahu for recognising the supreme importance of preserving educational continuity for the children of Israel. Well, I'm sorry to say that the continuity isn't really there. What's happening is disgraceful at best, and other words at worst. And you know, for families, the disruption, because what happens is when the children can't go to school, parents who are working but have children at school, their work is disrupted, which means that if we want services, then that's disrupted. So it has a knock-on effect for families and for the community, for shops, for banks, for offices, and indeed for those reservists who are called up. That's another issue. So children having to miss school, they have parents who are away serving in the IDF, and so you can imagine it's a whole confusion as to who's where, doing what with whom. And
the thing is, if is like changing all the time, so it's like it's very unsettling. The only thing is, for the children, if the parents are strong, and you know, again, if the parents are strong, and for the children, they feel kind of okay. If the parents are okay, the children are okay. It's always like that. But you can imagine, not every parents are okay, and like again, you have PTSD. I mean, we spoke about all these things, so it's very disturbing.
Yeah, and we're coming up in Israel to Holocaust Memorial Day. As we come to you today, it's just going to happen this evening. Yad Vashem has replaced, though, its live broadcast of survivors lighting the Yom HaShoah, which is the Holocaust, torches with remembering the memorial, with a tape program without giving a reason, as Israel prepares to mark the Holocaust Memorial Remembrance Day this year on April 13th and April 14th. Yad Vashem announced that the official state ceremony, which happens every year, will be replaced with a pre-recorded broadcast. Very, very strange why they need to do that in the middle of a ceasefire. It starts in the evening with addresses by the President of Israel, Isaac Herzog, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The memorial torch will be lit by the former Ashkenazi chief rabbi, Rabbi Israel Meir, himself a Holocaust survivor and chairman of the Yad Vashem Council. Central theme for this year's state commemorations is the Jewish family during the Holocaust. We could say it's the Jewish family during the war, so it's quite interesting. Known in Hebrew as Yom Shoah, it's one of the most solemn days on Israel's national calendar, marked on the 27th day of the Hebrew month of Nisan, when the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising began. If you remember, or for those who don't know, the Warsaw Ghetto, which was where the Jews were crowded together in a camp.
In Poland.
They fought back against the Nazis, and it was famously known as the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. Sadly, they weren't successful, but they did manage to stop the Nazis for a period of time. During the ceremony, 6 Holocaust survivors will light torches in commemoration of the 6 million Jewish victims of the Nazis, while 2 more will give a speech and recite the El Malei Rahamim prayer. Yom HaZikaron LaShoah VeLaGevurah, lit Holocaust and Heroism Remembrance Day. There were a lot of heroes during the Holocaust, and it's also to remember them. As I say, to remember the 6 million Jewish people who lost their lives. Now, because of the war, even though it's a ceasefire, United States giant aviation company United Airlines has cancelled their flights to Israel until September over the Iran war. Well, I'm sorry for those of you who are trying to get here. We are still having issues with aviation, with the airports. The carrier joins the American airline Delta and Canadian carrier Air Canada, which are scheduled to return to Israel in September. United Airlines announced that it's cancelling its flights from until September the 7th. The implication is that during the summer season, when many of you were looking forward to coming, typically a peak period for air travel, major foreign carriers serving North America will not be operating to Israel, which could lead to a limited supply of flight tickets to North America and increase the price with Israeli carriers. For the past 36 days since the beginning of the war, carriers have not been operating, that's foreign airlines have not been operating in Israeli airspace. At Ben Gurion, only Israeli airlines are currently active under very strict regulations. They have been, well, this changes so much that it may have changed when I'm speaking to you, 1 flight per hour, with the number of passengers departing limited to 100. But as I say, this is what was in the news and can change at any time.
Yes, because for a while it was only 50 people, but now it's 100 people. So it's changing. You have to, if you want to come here, you need to be very willing.
Resilient.
Yes, and the thing is, you can go, now quite a lot of people go to Athens, go to Greece, and from Greece they come here.
Yes, you can fly to other countries and take an El Al or Arkia or an Israeli airline flight from that country to Israel, but you can't go direct. Now, one of the things we've been speaking about for a number of years, and indeed since the war with Gaza and the war with Iran, is the population struggling with depression with the conflict. The ongoing war, political tension and societal strain have caused many Israelis to feel growingly despair and uncertainty about the future of Israel. And to be frank, it does depend on whether they are religious or not, because I know this is a very important factor, as Nathalie was mentioning. For those who are strong with a faith in God, they are managing. Everybody's still affected, but they are managing to be strong during this period. A lot of the
they're more resilient.
Population have been concerned about the missiles coming from Lebanon in the north, the Houthis in Yemen, and the state authorities and coalition members seem to be increasingly apathetic in emotional terms and unresponsive. There's also in financial terms. If you happen to live along Israel's northern border with Lebanon, the situation seems to be worse all the time, as outlined by Kiryat Shmona Mayor Avichai Stern, who had very strong words to say about what was happening. So there's frustration about the current stage of the unending war, because we've had not just the war in Iran, but the Gaza war, which has been going on since October 2023. So there's, a cause for despondency and depression because of the ongoing war situation. We've also had, in the same time, exorbitant prices in the shops. Things are very expensive, and there's the unending military duty, reserve duty. Reservists seem to be called up more and more, and they're asking that the time served by reservists in the IDF be increased. And they've already served over 700 days, Nathalie, since 2023. And the Chief of Staff is dismayed at the massive shortage of manpower in the IDF with all the tasks that are involving. So despondency and depression have become one of the main things in Israel. we don't like to talk about it, but it is something on people's minds, that they are troubled, is the best way of putting it, by everything that's happening, and it's something.
Yes, a little joke now here in Israel is like, how are you? And you say, oh, like yesterday.
Yeah, so
because you don't really want to say, you want to stay positive.
right.
So you say, well, like yesterday. So you don't really answer the question.
Right, and I think that many people are positive, they are speaking positively and looking positive, but it is difficult when when you read the newspaper. I mean, the newspapers are always saying the same thing, the news on the television. Many people have stopped watching the television news because it's too much for them. But the news on the television and the newspapers, Nathalie, is pretty much always the same. But I know that you've got some encouraging things to say to our viewers, to encourage them and to keep them strong, because we know wherever you are in the world, people are going through difficult times.
Yes, we're in difficult time. But now we are looking, do you remember, we are looking at all the letters of the Aleph Bet, the Hebrew alphabet, because it's so important. It's part of Isaiah 2, when the Torah will be taught to the nations. We are going into this time, and obviously for really knowing the Torah, you need to know the Hebrew language. It doesn't mean that you are speaking it every day, but like to study Torah, to study the Bible, to know the Hebrew language is just a treasure. It's just amazing. So today we are looking at the letter Tet, which is the 9 letter. This is how it look. Okay, Tet. And I love it, and especially with all the things that we're speaking, Tov is good. Okay, and so we start by this letter Tet. And so it's very important. As I say, it's the 9 letter, and it's the number 9 too. Number 9 is 3 by 3. Very important. Is very a strong letter. And also, let us not forget that God is good and He does everything good. It doesn't seem like the illusion doesn't seem to be that. But God knows exactly what He's doing. And when they have a beautiful prayer that they pray for Shabbat, I don't know if they pray it another time, but they prayed for Shabbat. And the thing is using also the Aleph Bet, the Hebrew alphabet, and they take the character of God and they use Aleph Bet Tet, Aleph Bet Gimel, etc. So one of the things they say, God is Tov Umetiv. He's the good one who does good. Okay. Tov Umetiv. I really love that. And it's more you see what God is doing in your life and you follow Him, more you can see, even things are difficult, behind the scene, He does everything for you. Sometimes it's to grow, sometimes it's to go in a better path, and sometimes it's just like crossing the road and you think it's the wrong way, but He said, no, it's the right way for you. All these things, He does it for our good, okay? Now, interesting thing is also, I've told you every letter in the Torah are important and put at the right place. Now, usually they are all written the same space and the same length, the same, how do you say? How big and small they are. And sometimes there is a little one, or sometimes there is one with enlarged. So one for Tet is smaller, and is when Jacob speaks to God and is going to see his brother Esau that he hasn't seen for many years. And remember, Esau, his brother, wanted to kill him, so he had to go away. And now he's going to see him and is in trepidation. He doesn't know how he's going to be. But he saw how God has been good to him all through the time. When he left, his father gave him something to go with, and one of his, I think it was one of the son of Esau, robbed him. So when he left, he had nothing with him. And he went to Lavan and he married Rachel, and he married Leah first. And he started the 12 tribes, you know. He started the nation of Israel. He was doing a very important job. And then now he's away, and this was in a foreign land, and now he's going back to Israel. And so this is what he said. This is in Genesis 30:10, and this is what he said to God. He said, "My merit have been diminished by all the kindness that you have done to your servant." And so there is a little text saying, "Look, you've been too good for me. And and I see what I have now." And he built the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, in the midst of everything, saying that when he was coming back, Benjamin wasn't born yet. He was going just to be born. So Benjamin is the one who's been born in the land. All the others were born not in the land of Israel, which is interesting again. But there is another passage also, which is the different thing, is like the Tet, this letter that I was showing you. I'll show you again. Tet. This letter there is big. And it's like, oh, why is it big? And where is it? So is in Ecclesiastes. And it's Ecclesiastes 7, verse 1. And this is again amazing. Is written, "A good name is better than good oil," which is interesting because right now, you know, there is a lot of problem with the petrol and all of that. And God said, well, you know what? A good name, which is your reputation, is much more important than what you have. And so God is looking at how we are. And when you see some good people, is like when they die, well, people have so much to say about them. And what they've done in their life is still carry on in other people, maybe in their children, in their grandchildren, in the work that they have done, and is still there, you know. And so a good name, this is again is Ecclesiastes 7, verse 1, a good name is better than good oil. So this is just beautiful. There is something else also, because we live in Israel, okay? And it's written also, God say, this is a good land. Despite everything that's happening, God is declaring, the Creator, the Sovereign Lord, He's creating, this is a good land, okay? This is in Deuteronomy 3:20. And I tell you, it's a good land. We moved, we are close to the Judean desert. We see the desert blooming. We see villages who are so big. We see people who love God. We see families who love God, who have children, who are happy to have children. It's so beautiful to see that. And I wanted to leave it for you, reading Isaiah 35. And this is what's happening now. And I've never realized, but when I read all 35, and you can read it at home if you want, you will see there is a whole progression in it. And seeing that Israel, there was a lot of desert, and there is now villages, and it's not the desert anymore. Like Tekoa, which is not far away from where we are, it was the town of Amos, the prophet Amos. And we saw one of the founder of Tekoa, and he was saying this was a bare hill. And because it was bare, the wind was very strong. Nothing was really growing on this bare hill because the wind was so strong. When we started to plant trees, suddenly the birds came. Suddenly the wind wasn't as strong because it was like an edge. The trees were doing their work. And now there is flowers, and now there is bees, now there is agriculture, and there is lots of families living there. And it is so beautiful to see that. So let us see Isaiah 35. He said, the desert and the dry land will be glad. So is already the land who is glad, which is very interesting. Listen to the progression. And the Arava is the place also desert, with desert, will rejoice and blossom like the lily. Sometimes in some translation is written rose, but it's not rose, it's a lily. It will burst into flower, will rejoice, will joy and singing, and it will give the glory of the Lebanon, the splendor of Carmel and the Sharon. They will see the glory of Yehovah, is written Adonai, so it's the special name, is the proper name of God. And they will see the splendor of God. Then something has happened. He says, strengthen your dropping hours and steady your tottering knees. Say to the faint-hearted, be strong and unafraid. And this is what we're saying to you. Be strong and unafraid. Despite everything that's happening, God is good and His purpose is coming. And we will see, we will go back into the Garden of Eden, where the presence of God will be so strong and the wicked will be no more. This is going to happen. May that it happens sooner than later. Okay, here is your God. He will come with vengeance, exactly. With God's retribution, He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind will be opened. Suddenly we will see and really realize that God has always been good. And the ears of the deaf will be unstopped. Then the lame man will leap like a deer, and the mute person's tongue will sing. For in the desert, spring will burst forth. Stream of water in the Arava. So Arava, I'm gonna say, is like a desert place. The sandy mirage will become a pool, and the 30 ground spring of water. The ants where shackles lie down will become a marsh with reeds and papyrus. And you know what? We see that in the valley where we are, where we walk, there is a place where there is more water now coming, and there is papyrus and reeds growing there, and it's green. We just need more water, and everything is blossoming. And then this is the goal. A highway will be there, a way called the way of holiness. The unclean will not pass over, but it will be for those who He guides. Fools will not stray along here. You see, a good name is more important than all the things that we have. Good reputation is so important. The fool will not stray along it. No lion or other beast of prey will be there, traveling on it. They will not be found there, but the redeemed will be there. Those ransomed by Adonai will return and come with singing to Zion. On their heads will be everlasting joy. They will acquire gladness and joy, while sorrow and sighing will flee. This is our future.
And don't forget, you can get Nathalie's book, The Beauty of the Hebrew Language. There's also a digital version that you can get hold of. That's at the website. You go to the website, which is www.israelfirst.org. There's also information how you can support the program. And it's because of your support, it's because of our friends and our partners who are supporting us financially that we're able to come into your homes. So we look forward to seeing you again. And remember, we're the program that looks at the land, the people, and the language.